Wow, the market went down today, didn't it? So what in the world did I do with Ulty and Msty along with Mr.? Stick around and let's check it out. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So the market definitely dropped today, and wow, Bitcoin fell, and so did a lot of the YMAX ETFs, right? Whew, that was tough. Watching it fall down that far. What did you do? Well, I'll show you what I did. Let's move over to the Webull chart and check it out. All right, so here we are on the Webull chart, and we're looking at Ulty first. And wow, I mean, just look at this. Whew. Oh my goodness, did it fall, right? That is a massive drop. That dropped 2.88%. We are definitely down below that $6 range for sure. And we are currently sitting at $5.73. It went as high as $5.91 and as low as $5.72. Now, I had announced that I did end up buying on that Friday, right? Well, today I saw this red candle happening, right? And I saw it at the bottom of that Bollinger Band, along with that RSI 2 here down really low. I mean, right now at close, it is at 1.2. So definitely below 10. But I just, again, could not resist, and I had to snatch up a few more shares. And we'll take a look at my order form here afterwards, but just to let you know, I did purchase 25 more shares at 580, and remember I had that 575 order out there that we saw yesterday, and well, it came down and triggered that one as well. So that bought me 25 more at 575. Now you can see I currently have a order in for 570, and the current price being 572 after hours, man, I might be buying another 25 at 570. Who knows? That could happen after hours or pre-market, right? As you can see, I have a total now of 75 shares at an average of $5.82, right? So if that one goes through, that is just going to lower that average even more. But that'll put me at 100 shares. So we'll see. Do I get assigned those shares before the market opens tomorrow? I don't know, but we shall see. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're seeing these big red candles like this and you're watching the market drop, it is not the easiest thing to buy, right? Because you're watching it drop and then you're buying, it triggers it and it keeps dropping further. And you'll buy again and it falls even further, right? And you'll see, because I'll pull up my orders for today. I made a lot of trades today. I bought a lot of stocks because they were just dropping, right? It is not easy sometimes to do that, right? So you really have to understand and have conviction on your stock or ETF that you do own, right? Because if you do not, then you'll just be sweating it out, and then you'll be questioning yourself, and then you'll be jumping out at a loss because you weren't really sure why you were in it to begin with. But for Ulty, I'm hoping this one to be a long-term stock or ETF here. So when we get these pullbacks like this, these big, huge pullbacks, I'm just snatching them up, right? Because I am still long-term these YMAX ETFs on the ones I have. So when it pulls back something like this, then I want to buy up a few shares so that when it comes back to where it was just even the other day, I'm all of a sudden now in the good, right? And like I said, that's why I always wait for a pullback to get at the bottom of that Bollinger Band and below the 10 on the RSI 2. But wow, I mean, I wait for a pullback, but man, was this one heck of a pullback, right? Now, I imagine the reason Ulty is down so much is because there are several stocks in Ulty, right? But if you can look over here on the left side of my screen, you can see there's a lot of red on a lot of stocks and ETFs, right? So since Ulty having a lot of those stocks, and not necessarily these over here, right? But having a lot of stocks in general in it, and if they're down, well, that's just going to hurt Ulty's price too. So the question is, tomorrow when they do their announcement on Ulty, are we still going to get 10 cents? Or are we looking at something maybe at 9 cents tomorrow? I don't know, but man, that was one heck of a pullback for today on Ulty. But like I said, I see a big pullback like that, I'm grabbing shares because I am looking for that to be oversold, right? And then get a nice little move back up, even if it gets back up to the normal range right here, right? But who knows what's going to happen and how long the market's going to be down. But we've seen this happen before, and every time it recovers, you always look back and say, man, I wish I would have bought. But there will be that time when you do buy and you're going to be, man, I wish I would have not bought those shares at that price because it is going on down further. And that could be Ulty now. But I am putting in little buy spots, right, to hopefully bring down my average and gather up a few shares along the way. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at Msty too, because it is down as well. And oh my goodness, is it down, right? Oh, you look at this and you just shed a tear, right? I mean, look at this red drop here. Oh, I mean, it went down 6.89%. Oh my goodness, that hurts, right? That's a $1.23 drop on Msty. So it fell down to $16.62. What? Goodness gracious. Oh my Lord. But now keep in mind, if Msty dropped 6.89%, what do you think Mr. dropped? Well, I guarantee it dropped more than Msty, right? How much more? We'll find out here in a minute. But with this price drop, did you buy any shares? Or were you just sitting back and saying, this is dropping too fast, I'm going to sit and wait? A pullback like that, like I said, it is hard to buy. But I did. I did buy some more shares. So just today alone, I bought 10 shares at around $17.29. So it was around this part right here, right? Bottom of that Bollinger Band is where I had it, right? But it just kept dropping. I mean, look at it. If I was right here and it just kept on dropping. I ended up putting another order in as it was around that $17 range, and I thought, well, surely it won't get below 17. But if it does, I'll pick up a little bit more at $16.96, right? And guess what? Well, you can see with that price, it got below $16.96. So therefore, it assigned me 10 more shares at $16.96. So just today alone, I bought 10 at $17.29 and 10 at $16.96. So I was just putting orders in as it was falling. Now I do not have another order in on it. As you can see, it ended up getting as low as $16.45. Oh, Lord. Whew. A little painful, right? A little painful. But like I said, I see these big pullbacks like this overextended past that Bollinger Band, right? Not saying it can't keep on going, but man, I am looking for it to pop back up a little bit, get a little relief, right? Because that's a hard pullback right there for Msty. But again, I could not resist getting a few more shares. So that added another 20 shares to my total quantity. And I told you, every time they drop this stock, I keep buying. Well, every time I keep buying, it keeps pushing out my ultimate goal of getting Msty paid off, right? I was at a little under $3 And now I'm going to have to punch all this in and see where I'm at, right? But I'm telling you, whenever I see prices like this, I see them as discount prices. And man, I love a good discount. Because if I see this Msty or Ulty or any of these, and I think that they are valuable, and for me, I see them up above where they're currently at this moment, so therefore, I buy. Because getting more shares and then it pulling back up can only help me in the long run. Even though it is prolonging getting my Msty paid off. But when somebody offers a discount, for me, I take it because I don't know if that discount's going to be there tomorrow. So as we can see, Msty dropping a total of 6.89%. So let's just check out and see how far Mr. dropped. Boom! Oh my goodness. 7.43% on Mr. Ouch. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is some nasty candles, guys. Nasty. Whew. Man, I tell you what. I am really glad that when I first had the Mr. here, and I was up to about 22 shares, and then it was above my cost, and I did put a stop on it, right? And I had a stop of 389.10, right? And that was around August the 13th. Let's see where that is. That would be right here, okay? Right here. I had that stop at 389.10. So when this one here, when it dropped, it went as low as 383.55. So that kicked me out, and that sold my 22 shares, and that did sell at a profit, right? But as you can see, that saved me from having to ride this all the way down. But now don't get me wrong. That very next day, on the 14th, when I saw this drop, I bought, right? Because I bought 2 shares at 378. On that same day, I bought another 2 shares at 370.50. And then the following day, I bought 2 shares at 365.50, right? Because it just kept on coming down. And then on Monday, I bought 2 shares at 358.25. And then today, I went crazy. Today, I went crazy. I bought 2 shares at 352.25, okay? Because I had a buy order in at that 352.25, and that's about right here. Like I said, bottom of that Bollinger Band area. And it kept dropping, right? So I put another order in to buy another 2 shares at 343.20. Well, what did it do? It just kept on dropping, right? 343.20. So that's about right here. And it purchased another 2 shares. So then I thought, well, I'll put in one last order, and I'm going to put it really low, right? And I put that price at 336 even. And what did it do? It just kept on going, and boom, triggered me right there at 336 even. And that got me 2 more shares. Now you can see it actually got as low as 333.40. Oh my goodness, it was dropping, right? Now for the stocks that I see long term as a banger and will be up, if not soon, definitely later, right? I see these as stocks that will be moving up, and that's the only reason I feel comfortable in buying. Now, is that guaranteed? No, definitely not. So, never invest more than you're willing to lose. But man, I tell you, I ended up buying 6 shares of Mr. today alone. Whew, gracious. I had to put a stop on it myself, right? I didn't know where the end was, but each time I thought that was going to be the end, right? And after that 3rd time, I was like, that's it. It hits this, I'm done. And it hit it, and I was done, right? I was like, wow, I've got to save some for the next day, right? I'm going to blow out all my money in one day. Now, what is causing all of this, right? What caused all this? Now, one thing, Mr. did end up purchasing some more Bitcoin on the 18th, right here. And we can see that on their site. And here we go. And this is on strategy.com. And then you can just click their little tab here of purchases, and it shows all the purchases that strategy, which is Mr., right? MSTR, all the purchases that they've reported. And you can see their last one that they've reported was yesterday. And they purchased 430 Bitcoin. So that alone probably brought the stock down a little bit. And there's no telling, they may have ended up buying more today after that huge pullback. And what pullback am I talking about? Well, that would be Bitcoin. Let's take a look at that. And here we are on Bitcoin. So you can see Bitcoin is just cooling on down, right? We were sitting right there on that support line. Remember yesterday I pointed out that 114.7 being our support line, and it was sitting right there on it. Well, it came out today pretty much right there on that line. And then we just fell on down below. Now, we do have a bottom right here at 111.9, and I tell you, we are getting close. Right? We're at 112.8, and that bottom of that last candle right here would be 111.9. So that right there, this line about right in here, is going to be our new support line. Now, this one here has not completely broke the support line criteria, right? Because this candle is still riding through that line. But if tomorrow opens and closes in the red under this line, then this will become the resistance line. And you can see that momentum is growing on the negative side. That separation is increasing. So we could be seeing Bitcoin coming on down. Now, if that does happen, you know strategy is going to be picking up some more Bitcoin. But you'll see a lot of sell-off probably in Mr. just because the price is dropping, right? You got people jumping ship, right? Because when the price starts dropping, everybody starts running for the hills, right? Sell everything. You know, it's going to zero, right? Bitcoin going to zero, sell it. Msty going to zero, sell it. But for me, when I see these pullbacks like this, I can't help it. I have to buy. And the last thing I wanted to show was my order form. And it's just for fun, just to show you how crazy today was. And here you go. Ain't that crazy? I mean, like I said, I went a little crazy, right? I had quite a few little orders put in there. And like I said, you know, you don't have to watch this stuff. You get notified. And whenever something fills, you just put a new one in, right? If you want. Definitely do your own research and decide what you can afford and handle as far as risk goes. But you can see, I mean, I ended up getting kicked out of AMD. I had 5 shares. That sold and hit my stop at 170.33. But what I ended up doing, I ended up buying right back in, and I got in at 165, right? I sold at 170 and sold those 5 shares I had, but ended up buying right back in for 2 shares at 165. Here's my Mr. buys. There's that 336, 2 of those, 2 of them at 343.20, and the last one right here, 2 at 352.25. There's my 2 Ultys at 575 and 580. Oh, and I did make another purchase of AMD right here at 168.50. I overlooked that. And since AMD was going down, I just went ahead and picked up a few shares of AMDY as well. I mean, why not, right? Why not? For Microsoft, it was dropping down. I ended up getting a share here at 511 and another share at 509.20. And for good measure, I ended up getting about 7 more shares of YMAX at 1289 just because I could. One of the ones that I've been playing around with is the RDW, and I sold a put on that one, And it's an $8 put for September 19th, I believe is the expiration date, that third Friday in September. And I picked up 45 cents times the 100, so I picked up $45 for just doing that as well on RDW. And I'll just show you where it's sitting at today. Here we are on RDW, and you can see it's currently at $8.84, right? And I've got an $8 put out to mid-September on that one. And one other one that I'm just kind of playing with is I did sell a SPY 640 put, expiration today, right? So you can call this one a day trade. And at that 640, I earned 51 cents or 51 bucks to sell that. That's not a whole lot considering the strike being at 640 bucks, right? That's not a whole lot of money. But what I'm looking to possibly do is turn right around, and if I did get assigned that SPY put, then I will own shares, 100 shares, at that 640, and I will then look to turn right around and sell a call against those shares, and in hopes to not only get a little premium, but hopefully also get $1 or $2 in price appreciation. Now, if I can do that and also earn a premium, so if I earn total of $1 in premium, say I can sell a call for 50 cents, so that's $1 total in premium that I would have earned. And if I'm able to sell it at 642, say tomorrow it goes up, then that would be a $2 price appreciation. So that right there is $3 or $300 in just 2 days, right? Now, will that happen? Well, the way the market's been looking, maybe not, right? I might be selling at the money call or maybe a 641 call. I don't know. But I did get assigned that 640. And let me just show you on the chart and show you what the actual price ended up to be today to prove that I did get assigned that 640 and explain that just a little bit. All right, so here we are looking at SPY, and the SPY, that's the S&P 500, right? It mimics the S&P 500. It is the ETF, pretty widely known. It is definitely one that you can, if you do day trading, you can use the SPY, right? Because there's a lot of volume, there is a lot of interest in it, and they do offer options daily, right? So you can do a daily option with SPY. You can make it weekly, monthly, whatever you want, but it is offered in daily as well. So you can see the closing price, $639.81. That means since my 640 put was out there stating that I am willing to buy those shares at $640, if it goes below it or at it, then I would have to buy it. And as you can see, it did go below it. It went to $639.81. So I will put those shares at $640 per share. And again, my thought is if it can get a pop up tomorrow a little bit, then I can sell a call above the 640, earn some premium, and also have it to expire that same day as well. If I have to move it out a day, then I can do that as well. But that is my thought here. Now, I am in this one because I am very bullish SPY, right? Even if I had to bag hold SPY, I have zero worry about SPY. Sure, it can come down, and sure, I could be holding it at 640 for a while. There is no telling, right? Because nobody can tell the future. But overall, I am very bullish SPY because right there is a 5-year chart. And as you can see, we were at around 299 back in 2020. And now we're sitting at a high of 646 and currently at 639. So overall, we are up, right? Now here's that big, huge pullback that we had in April, right? That's that big pullback that started that February, if you remember that one. But notice that it too did recover and ended up making new highs. And that's why I am not worried about the SPY. But that's just something new I'm just kind of trying out. Not a whole lot, just testing it out. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. It sure would help the channel out. And as always, I am not a financial advisor, and none of this at all is financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and your own research before you get into any stocks or ETFs. And until then, Legend out.